And if you haven't heard the name Desmond Napoles, get ready for this trailblazing 11-year-old drag kid who RuPaul is calling the future. His bravery is inspiring so many. We're going to talk to him in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at his amazing story.
I am Desmond. I'm 11 years old, and I like pizza, trains, and drinking root beers that's caffeine-free. I also do drag, and I love to put on makeup, dresses, and wigs, and of course, jewelry if necessary. My full drag name is Desmond is Amazing. I feel very happy to have a mom that accepts me.
It really touches me deeply that there are other children out there that he's reaching and they're listening to him and he's influencing them to be themselves.
I'm very proud of him. I'm proud that he's found his path so early.
My greatest joy in this is just seeing Desmond happy.
I love doing drag because it makes me feel amazing and self-expressive. It just feels amazing to know that people love what I do. My one big message would be 3 words: be yourself always.
Please welcome Desmond Napoles, a.k.a. Desmond is Amazing.
I love that you love root beer, caffeine-free. I can get on board with that.
My mom doesn't like me drinking caffeine.
Does it make you hyper? Yeah, me too. They don't like when I drink caffeine either. But Desmond, you're one of the youngest and first drag queen/kids. And I've heard that you've gotten messages from young adults who look up to you for being who you are. What are some of the notes you've gotten?
Some of the notes I've gotten are like that you inspire me very much, and I wish I could have had the support that you have when I was a child.
Yeah. And your parents, we saw your parents in the piece that we did, and your parents are so supportive of you, but they've encouraged you to stay and be who you are. So how has that inspired you to be open about dressing in drag?
They support me by letting me do what I want to do and letting me dress up and letting me play with makeup and trains. And yeah, I really like trains. When I'm at a drag, most of the time I'm playing with trains.
It's a tough world out there, and not everyone's accepting of things, and some people have criticized you. What do you say to them?
It's fine.
Desmond here, so thank you, Desmond. But we also have some people that wanted to come see you personally. So please welcome Head of Lettuce.
How are you? Come on.
Thank you for having me on.
Hello, Chanel. Go.
And we can't forget Alyssa Edwards.
How are you? Hello. How are you? See you.
And good morning to you.
How cool is this?
America.
Expecting this.
Shocked. Happily shocked.
So for you three, when you see Desmond, what comes to mind? What do you think about?
Inspirational.
Yeah.
Brave, courageous.
I wish, because I started doing drag at 15 years old, and obviously not 11, but I wish even at that age that I could have had the courage that you have to do what you do and literally take the art and put it in mainstream America. Wow. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Yeah.
You're the future of drag, so you have a lot to live up to. And I think it's also awesome that you are blessed with parents that love and support you unconditionally.
Well, I understand that you guys didn't come empty-handed. There are some special gifts you have for Desmond. You guys want to tell us what's out here real quick?
Well, I drew Desmond a little green-haired lady. It's for you. It's to bring you good luck and prosperity in your future.
And to eat iceberg lettuce.
And to eat iceberg lettuce. Good roughage, okay? There you go.
With tomatoes and cucumbers.
Absolutely.
And I brought you a gift basket of some of
the
my
lashes in
favorite. Actually, you know what? Let me actually hand it to you because I think you need to have it in your
Desmond,
hand.
look at those lashes.
It is some of my favorite makeup essentials that I use always. And you know, you can never have enough black eyeliners. So my favorite black eyeliners in there. And I have a makeup tutorial DVD, so you can watch it and pick up a couple of tips and techniques.
And I see a little unicorn bag. I can get on board with
Well,
that.
Desmond, you know, I'm a teacher over there at Beyond Belief Dance Company, and we would love for you to come take some dance classes. So, I wanted to bring you a quintessential
I got it, Desmond.
BBDC unicorn. It's got my favorite rhinestone. You cannot be a queen without some diamond nails. And some socks. It's got some pins. It's got a little notepad. Note, I want you to journal everything that you do because you truly are very brave and courageous. And let me give you this.
Thank you guys all for being here.
For an uprising, welcome to today's show. You know, these are the types of videos that make me just want to not do this anymore. Not even just not do this. It makes you not want to get out of bed, really. You know, I understand a lot of the stuff I talk about. I understand how there are people who are asleep who are going to think it's crazy, and there's certain things that might trigger an awakening in them and stuff like that. And I know there's people that don't want to believe in certain things. You know, they just want to block it off with their favorite musicians and all this stuff. But I don't understand how we can live in a world where this is okay, where this is allowed. These people aren't being arrested. I mean, you know, I heard about this story and I didn't want to cover it because I covered this kid last year. There was a video with him and he was on Masonic checkerboards and doing all this, you know, the cross-dressing, all that stuff. And I got a strike for it, you know, saying that I felt it was abuse of the child. And I do feel it is. And I just was like, you know, I don't even know if I want to cover this. But, you know, seeing that this kid and Michael Strahan and Good Morning America, they're calling him a hero. And, you know, he's doing, you know, he's so brave. And, you know, it's such a frightening world that we live in where people think that this is okay. You know, not only just the stuff with the confusion of the genders, but sexualizing children. You're telling me that this isn't being sexualized, that this is just all fun and games? This kid danced at a bar, and grown men threw money and whistled at him. And you're telling me that the police, that our government, that these people care about protecting children? You get arrested, you know, for the smallest things in today's, where you push somebody, it's assault. Yeah, we can have men watching a 10-year-old dance on a stage in scantily clad cross-dressed clothes and throw money at him. And Lord knows what else. I mean, we all know, you know. And who knows, you know, how this kid became so big and famous that all of these, you know, clubs are having him and he's being flown around the country to make appearances. And they say that the child's autistic. Well, of course they say that. Because just like certain other things that you can't talk about, like, you know, if you say something against a certain group of people, you're an anti-blank. Well, if you say anything about this, people will just go, now, come on, he's autistic, you know, it's okay, it's cute, right? Instead of saying, why is he, right? Because we all know it's from vaccinations, from the chemtrailing, the poison in the food, and people don't ask questions about that. I read one of these articles about it, and I just wanted to read just a little bit, because I mean, everybody's just sick from seeing it. I don't know how you could not be. The article says concerns for the welfare of a child drag performer are increasing as new information and videos about his involvement with a very adult world came to light. Desmond has been celebrated in the national media for emulating the female impersonators or drag queens he sees on TV. His many fans have applauded him. He has fans. He's a 10-year-old kid with fans. You know, this is the world we live in now. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. Go back to the Wild Wild West. Bring these people, these demons who do this to these children, to the Wild Wild West. See how fast they'd last. They'd be done in 15 seconds. Throwing money at kids, whistling at them to take their clothes off. Last week, conservative media published concerns for the boy when photographs and video footage of Desmond, or his stage name, Desmond is Amazing, dancing on stage at nightclubs in New York and San Francisco went viral. In both venues, Desmond was showered with money as he did an awkward impersonation of singer Gwen Stefani. In the footage of his San Francisco appearance, Desmond rips off his dress to reveal his mind riff-bearing top as adult men hoot their appreciation. This week, commentators have found more evidence that Desmond, who has autism, right? So they have to, again, use that because that's how they can go, leave the kid be. He's sick, he's having a good time, he's being himself, It's just like the anti-S word, right? They'll just throw it at you without saying and telling us how this should be allowed in our country. Free speech being taken away by, but this stuff's okay. Last December, the child appeared on a YouTube talk show hosted by a New York dance club personality who spent almost 17 years in prison for manslaughter after the violent and dismemberment of a drug dealer named Andre Melendez. So he's on YouTube hanging out with adults, one guy who had committed murder. Yeah. And then people go, well, what's wrong with the parents? They don't realize that these parents are part of these secret societies. The mom likely a witch in a coven. They get away with this stuff. This is done deliberately. I'm not even going to continue to read on because it really is. It's so appalling and so sick that people are okay with this, that they're fine with a kid dancing in a bar. They're fine with, Good Morning America rolling him out in cross-dress clothes, saying that it's so brave of him. I don't know what to say, that they want to label it as hate speech to criticize it and say that it's abuse of a child, And I can come on here and I can yell and scream like I normally do. And it's heartbreaking. Who wants to raise children in a world like this? I know I don't. Who wants to be in a world like this? The trumpets can't sound soon enough. You got to pray for the child, but you can't imagine the trauma that these children are put through, and it's hard for them to ever break out of it. It's hard for them to break out of it because eventually these children who are abused become the handler. So, we need to pray for all these children, the innocent. Satan, his minions, these demons have they've cast a spell over our world and they've just taken away all morality. Yet grown men throwing money at kids and other people's main concern are about people like me having free speech or anyone else. It's not about me, but you understand what I'm saying. You, the listener, having a political, a standpoint on something, a viewpoint that's opposite of theirs. They're more concerned about that than they are about grown men getting away with this type of stuff. There's billboards in New York City that have this kid on it. They're advertising him in the middle of, Manhattan on billboards. And look, you can even see the spiral over his eye. And like I said, the spiral, it does stand, for pedophilia. It also, and it has a cultic, deep-rooted meaning. And you see it right in front of our faces. And they have no problem rubbing it in because they know there's nothing that can be done because they have control. And all they have to do is keep deflecting. And everybody out there will just keep playing on their iPhones, keep striving for dreams that they can't achieve, never find satisfaction in this world, while these children continue to get abused. So pray for these kids. It's just, it's draining. It's draining when you see stuff like this. And, you just, these monsters who prey on children and what they're going to get. They're so protected by the laws that have been set up to protect them, but when the trumpets sound, they're not going to be protected anymore. When the four horsemen come down, they're not going to be protected anymore. And on that day, they better hope they're wearing diapers because they're going to be crapping their pants. They'll be doing more than that. They'll be burning pretty hot. I thank you for listening to today's show. Pray for these kids. God bless all of you and your families.